Okay, Sifu,
Yeah.
thank you for joining us on the show, and
Yeah.
thank you for agreeing to the interview.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
Yeah.
So for those that are watching the video and they've never heard of Qigong or they're not quite sure about what it is, would you mind explaining exactly what is Qigong?
Now, I will start with the Chinese characters. So, Qi means literally energy, okay? And Gong means an accomplishment. So we accomplish something with the practice of the energy. So what we call Qigong perhaps is simply energy accomplishment. Okay, and there's lots of ways we can exercise the Qi, and many people invent forms and systems for us to exercise the Qi. So there are many practices, and these practices we generally call them Qigong, and that's how Qigong comes from. And actually a lot of Tai Chi practice, which very common, they also emphasize the flowing of the energy inside while they are doing the Tai Chi movements.
Yes.
So Tai Chi is also some sort of Qigong. And we also have Qigong, especially designed not only for health, but specifically for martial art. So we have martial art Qigong as well as the health Qigong. I would say many of them are combined. They have both health effect and they have martial effect. But some of them are different. Some only concentrate on the health side. So they exercise Qi in a way that they circulate the energy inside, and also they try to achieve some effect on the health function. On the other hand, some martial art, especially like some Tai Chi Chuan, the Chuan is fist, some energy practice, they emphasize the martial, the fighting ability of the Qigong. So they are quite different. I would go into more detail about the difference. So we have a Qigong for health. In this, we must have some basic traditional Chinese medicine knowledge in order to understand. Now, I should start like this. As humans are born, they have energy already that exists in everybody. This energy starts from the kidneys. Now, when a human is born, the first organ that's conceived inside is the kidneys, and then from the kidneys expand into the whole body. And also in the human body, we have what we call the organs. In Chinese medicine, we divide them into 12 organs, like the heart and liver. We have 12 of them. Each organ has a meridian connected with it. So we have 12 meridians. In fact, the Qi, the energy inside the body, runs or circulates the 12 meridians for the benefit of the 12 organs. Is automatic. So every 2 hours, the inside flows 1 meridian. So in 24 hours, in 1 day, we have circulated 12 meridians. Okay. Well, if the circulation is automatic, so we don't have to practice the Qigong, but no, the circulation of the Qi along the meridians may get blocked or disturbed, sometimes weakened, sometimes it's too strong. The weakening of 1 meridian leads to the weakening of that corresponding organ. So if the kidneys meridians is blocked or disturbed, the kidney is weakened.
Yes.
And the weakening of the kidney, of course, is no good for the health. Okay, especially men and also women, they need the kidneys to be very strong. But the weakening of the kidneys, because it belongs to water, if the water is weakened, and the wood, the liver, will not be healthy. So it's a whole bunch of chain effect happening to the body. So what we are trying to do in some of the Qigongs, like my Phoenix Qigong, which is of a higher level of attainment in the health effect, we try to bring harmony to the circulation of the 12 meridians. So we designed some actions with the Qi to the fingertips to connect and guide the energy flow inside the body along the meridians to clear the blockage and bring back harmony in the flow. So the flow of the energy along the meridian in the 24 hours is more smooth, and they get balanced, so no one is stronger than the other. So that brings the harmony. The harmony keeps the 12 organs healthy and balanced. The balance will improve the immunity system of the body, so we get less prone to illness.
Yes.
Yeah, and also apart from designing the movements to run the meridians specifically, it also, when the movements are going, the energy flow along the fascia of between the muscles. The running of the Qi past the fascia, that means the whole body, will try to put a layer like a cushion in between the lumps of muscles, and that in some way clears the pain at the muscles. And also, when the Qi goes round in a good posture, it rotates all the joints. So it's supposed we have 360 joints in the body. So the rotation of all the joints in the body will keep the joints at a better alignment, so we don't have a lot of trouble at the pain of the bare bones or the joints. So that's we live happier, and also the Qi flow after bringing a whole harmony to the whole body, the muscles, the joints, the organs, and even the mind is balanced. So we seem to live a happier life with not too much fire, and we will not get stressed or depressed, and it's total harmony as an effect. Now, so what's the Qi then to do with martial arts? We have a Qigong called the Heart Qigong, which is more on the Shaolin side. They practice mainly a Qigong for martial art, which I don't practice, so I cannot speak too much. But their aim, some of the practice, is to create a hard body, so to resist being beaten on. So yes, they create very hard palms and hard body, and then they would train on being hit on, and sometimes very scaring results would come out. And even the head, they bang the head on something solid, hard, like a piece of metal or rock, and then this is called hard Qigong. And they have their own way of practicing this, but I am afraid this is dying down. Is the lineage, the heritage seems to be losing its linkage.
Yes.
By the new generations. But I still know somebody are still practicing this. But what we practice here is what we call the soft Qigong, where we have all the movements very soft, and all the joints are relaxed and no strength, and trying to keep the body hollow. So nothing is obstructing the flow, the circulation of the qi. Okay, so now in doing this soft qigong, in terms of martial art first, if you want to do martial art, you must be healthy.
Yes.
In the first place, okay? So you do this qigong to keep yourself less prone to illness, stronger in the mind, more relaxed, and you'll get healthy. Now, but also in the qigong for martial arts side, there are many practice like Tai Chi. It's also some kind of qigong. It's lots of qi rolling around, and the movements, in the movements, the qi flows. And also, it's also a very popular style called the Bagua.
Yes.
The Bagua has a lot of qi and it rotates around. And I think the qi in the Bagua is even kind of more significant in the practice.
Compared to Tai Chi.
Compared to Tai Chi. And also some people say the Xing Yi Chuan, it's also a Qigong. I think it's a very good Qigong, although it doesn't look like it, but it's actually very effective in the Qi. And what we do in this kind of a Qigong martial art is we try to round the posture. When the posture everywhere is round, all the joints rotate better. Okay? And that's the main purpose in the internal martial art posture. We round ourselves. So even in Xing Yi, it looks very straight, vertical and upright, but it's actually round. The essence is also round. So they have the movements round. The posture is actually round everywhere. So if you think that's straight, or you try to pose straight for the Xing Yi, it doesn't work. Now, it's very obvious that Tai Chi is round. So we try to create a big circle, small circle, big circle, and rotate the circle. So in the rotation of the circle, all the joints rotate in the body. And that's the essence in the posture. And also, when we have round posture and we have round movements, the qi starts to flow according to that movement. So it is not like where I create a dragon ball, whew, and then you bounce away. No, it doesn't work like that. So the qi, the energy flow in the martial art is a way of training. So if you can feel the qi rolling around in your movement, you are able to make sure that movement is relaxed, so the qi flows, and the movement is round, so the qi flows, and the motion has closing and opening, contraction and expansion like a balloon, and you rotate at the same time.
Yes.
And if you can feel the qi flowing in all the movements without being disturbed, so you make sure, you can make sure, you can be sure that your posture, your movements, and your intention is correct. So the qi flow is a guideline for oneself to feel their movement is flowing. And also in the Tai Chi, we have many training parameters. Like what I said, we have contract and expand, and we have contract and stretch, and we also have ups and downs. We have floating and sinking, but everything happens in rotation. So everything is rotating. So Qigong for martial art, we emphasize the flow. The flow of energy that we feel in the movements is a guideline. So if the qi is flowing smoothly, you know the rotation of the parts in your body is correct. If some case, it stopped. You don't feel the flow anymore. So somewhere it's gone wrong. Perhaps the shoulder is not round, the arms not round, the body is not rotating. Somewhere in the joints it's stiff. So you got to check where it's gone wrong until you get the free flow of energy again. So in the years that you practice in these circular flows, so you know that you have a momentum. Some people call this the jing. So when you can feel the jing and then you explode from the center, so then you have the power like this. So it just gives an extra kind of measurement for yourself to see whether you have some accomplishment with the energy flow. So when you do the contraction and expansion, it just gives you an extra drive for you to have the Fa Jing, the power out. So, and that's about the movement, the circulation, the flow, and how you feel it, and use it as a guideline. Another very important aspect is the core inside. So what we call a Dan Tien. We in all internal martial art, we seem to try to train out the Dan Tien.
Yes.
Yeah. If we have this core inside, it drives all other parts of the body. But this is very interesting. So in Taoist Kung Fu, in Taoist Qigong practice, and when we are doing the Tai Chi, Bagua, whatever, we try not Taoist as a religion, but we try to imitate nature. So we try to have the whole body empty. And the only solid aspect is the Dan Tien. So the Dan Tien is round inside here. It's supposed to be solid, but in actual fact, it doesn't exist materially. So it's just a cluster of energy, of qi. But we consider something with flesh, muscle, and material is empty. So we try to train out the feeling reversely. So the whole body does not exist, and there's just one flowing of qi with the core inside. So many people get confused. So they do not know what is the Fa Jing in internal martial art. They think of this and that and that and this. So in martial art for health, we ask, like our Phoenix Qigong, I don't know about the other Qigongs, or they have nowadays many Qigongs, but
yes.
My Phoenix Qigong and some very serious Qigongs, they emphasize the running of the qi along the meridians, which is composed of quite a few acupuncture points. Yes. So they run along some acupuncture points. So if some people have some illness, they go to the acupuncturist and they put the pins. And usually they have some symptom, and then they diagnose the symptom, and then they try to do something to kind of irritate or boost some acupuncture points along the specific meridians. Or sometimes they emphasize quite a few meridians to do one specific thing. But the Qigong flows along the meridian itself, the whole thing, not points, but the whole meridian or the channels, the 8 extraordinary channels for some purpose or for holistic health. And some people, they think this running of the qi along the meridian is for martial art. So that's the biggest confusion. They want to put the qi staying at one acupuncture point somewhere for the Fa Jing, but that's a confusion. The running of the qi along some acupuncture points, along some meridians, is for health. according to the traditional Chinese medicine theory to heal or to cure. But the Fa Jing, the Qigong, train out the Fa Jing by rotation of the Dan Tien. And also the cluster of energy expand. When in the expansion you rotate, so the Qi rotates with the body and it propels. It gives an extra drive to the releasing of the momentum through the limbs, through the legs, and through the arms. So that's why the internal martial art usually emphasize relaxation. So only if we relax all the joints in the body, we have this drive, driven from the center by expansion and rotation, and in the practice we feel the Qi rolling, and in the exercise of Jing, we just rotate the same way when we are doing the practice. So that's how it propels the internal martial art, Jing. But the thing is, so many people doing Tai Chi, Bagua, internal martial art, they cannot even feel a Qi flow. So not to mention the Dan Tien. A lot of people train the Dan Tien reversely.
Yes.
So I don't know about yoga, they have something doing there, but in internal martial art, a lot of people are confused how to create or train out a Dan Tien. The Dan Tien is a spherical inside the abdomen, and it rolls, it rotates. So in the process of training, firstly, we have to get a feeling of the Dan Tien. Some people call sinking Qi to Dan Tien, or sometimes they say gathering Qi in Dan Tien. Yes. And after feeling Dan Tien, you have to use the Dan Tien. The Dan Tien rotates, and it's only very simple. Dan Tien, the core rotates. It rotates your whole body, and if you are very relaxed, the Dan Tien just rotate the limbs, and that's how you fight. Yes. In a good posture. And the pity is, this kind of training out Dan Tien has so many different representations. Some say this, some say that. Some say you've got to have reverse breathing practice, reverse breathing. But I have seen people, a lot of kind of masters, they reversed the reverse breathing. Okay, so they are not going to get anything. Okay. But yeah, so that's the major difference between the Qigong for health and Qigong for martial art, and a lot of confusions we get these days about the difference between the two and in the practice.
Yes.
You hold this pole and you poke it into my stomach.
Yes.
Yeah. So I want him to poke into me, and I will show you how the Dan Tien is coming into become material. Okay. So now, this is where I want you to poke into me, into my stomach.
Okay.
Okay. Now, keep poking. Yep. So now there's no Dan Tien. So now I breathe. Come on. Breathe.
It's pushing me back.
Yeah. So it's not by moving of the body. It's just breathing. Yeah. So you can feel the force. Yes. With the Dan Tien. So now the Dan Tien can rotate. So I would like you to feel the rotation. If you can do something like this, so you can feel the rotation. Sure. Yep. See, yeah. Wide apart. Yep. So now, that's Dan Tien. That's the rotation of Dan Tien.
I can feel
yeah.
it. So it feels like it's twisting on the inside. Like it's
so that's the ball rotates. When it rotates back, so you're empty. So when it rotates back to your hands, you feel the strength.
Yes.
So it rotates. So in the rotation, it's just rotate and create spiral, and then to drive. So you rotate your Dan Tien for the spiral drive for a punch, or that way to rotate. And then when you practice with the chi flow and you get used to the flow with the rotation, that's how you do the Fa Jing in that aspect.
So that is how the Dan Tien is used.
Yeah. So the Qigong for martial art mainly is Dan Tien practice. So when you rotate the Dan Tien, it rotates the whole body, and if you are relaxed enough, that's the drive.
Yes.
Yeah. But that's very important that we train from the basics. Right at the basic is relaxation. So we train relaxation first, but it's not only relaxation, it's got to be coordination of all the elements, rotation, the flow, the everything, including the training movements, including the training of techniques.
Yes.
And also we must remember the chi doesn't do whoo and then you bounce away. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to, in order to be able to fight, you've got to have techniques and you've got to have tactics. It's no good of going to a fight with your practice movements. It doesn't work that way. You've got to practice practically in order to have fighting ability.
Sure.
And that's a different matter. And it's not people practicing Tai Chi in the park every morning, and that means they have, wow, very profound, deep Kung Fu. It doesn't work like that.
Sure.
It's two different things, health and martial art. Even if martial art, if you want to do internal martial art, you've got to build up Dan Tien, you've got to have the Chi flow practice, and everything comes together with the techniques and tactics.